In order to preserve the integrity of the investigation, we cannot discuss specifics. Unfortunately, we have no new updates to provide publicly. So it implies that there are updates, they're just not willing to share them. I don't know. That's just reading between the lines, and I could well be wrong. Should we develop new information that could help in locating Summer, we will notify the news media and the public immediately. The information released by the TBI throughout the investigation, including a list of frequently asked questions, can be reviewed below. How many of you have read the frequently asked questions? In my comment section recently, I've been answering some very, very basic questions. And there are, believe it or not, 2 years down the line, new people coming into the case. And those people, arguably, are being fed information by the likes of Vern Gilbert, who is stating his theory as fact. He's stating his theory as fact. And one person questioned him during this Twitter Spaces. Here's a little clip from it. Well done, Deb.
When you initially said that she was trafficked or whatnot, can I just ask how we know that she was trafficked for an hour at a time? How do we get that information? Like, how did we get to that in your when you posted for the space, Vern? I was just curious that she was sold for an hour at a time, but always returned until July 21st, I think, or June. This case is like not fresh in my memory. So, do you have any comments on that?
I do, and I've said it as we went along here. I think, and this is what I think. I don't have any proof to this other than what has been said to this point, and not been said, but said by people that I listen to, right? The body language experts that were on Dr. Phil, the news channel, right? I don't believe Don and Candace, right? I don't believe everybody from the Cornbread Mafia that's going crazy on YouTube. I really don't give a shit what they say. I don't want to talk to Don and Candace. I've never spoken to them, and I'm not going to do that now. But I do believe. I believe there was a reason that video was put out on Facebook of Summer dancing in front of a barrel that said for sale. I've already said that I think this went on a long time before Summer ever went missing. I believe that Candace was day trafficking Summer. I believe that she went back to whoever had her, whether it was this Sean Williams guy or whoever had her that day. She went back to get her when the time was up. And the person who had her and Summer were gone. And she freaked out. She can't go to the police and tell them that, right? I mean,
oh yeah, absolutely.
She's not going to go to the police and say, hey, I dropped Summer off with Sean Williams at his apartment and I went back to pick her up and she's not there and he's not there. She's not going to go tell the police that. She's not going to tell anybody that.
So it's not Vern's fact. But because the vast majority of people will not have tuned in to that Twitter Spaces and won't follow it up any further, they'll assume this is fact and that is wrong. Vern Gilbert, at the very least, you should put "this is my theory" or "in my opinion." It's not fact. Not fact, guys. And this for sale barrel, it's been explained. It's been explained what that actually meant. But how many of you have actually read the frequently asked questions? Well, I've read them many times, out to viewers. I'm going to read them again. I apologise to people who know all of this, but you've got to acknowledge that new people coming into the case need to know the facts. And are not going to go to the TBI newsroom. I don't know why they won't go and hunt out the facts, but they won't. They like the salaciousness. Unfortunately, that's just human nature. So this was to mark the year of her missing on 6/15/2022. At approximately 6:30 p.m. on June 15th, 2021, Summer Wells was reported missing from her home on Ben Hill Road in the Beech Creek community of Hawkins County. At the time, no one imagined we would still be searching for her a year later, and who could imagine that we'd still be searching for her 2 years later? We've said from the beginning that this case is outside of the norm because there are so few clues. The TBI says there are few clues as to what happened to Summer despite investigators doing everything within their power to find answers. It doesn't mean there are no clues. It says there are few clues. Not enough clues to be able to put together a working theory that will lead them to a potential suspect. The number one theory from the TBI and Hawkins County Sheriff's Office, I think, is that she wandered away and became lost in the woods. They say that's a very real possibility. This is what Detective John Pruitt said.
The wandering away, sneaking off to go play or whatever she may have done, that is a viable option. People are probably tired of hearing this. All possibilities are on the table. We're not completely eliminating the abduction idea. There's nothing to lead us to believe that we need to focus on that alone.
In the height of the search,